my God, where do I start? Where do I start? First of all, this is a really magic moment. Like, first of all, let's not talk about me. Let's talk about how have you coped with this whole pandemic nonsense? How are you coping? You all right? Are you going crazy?
I feel incredibly privileged to be out of the States, if I'm being honest. Yeah, I feel like we've gotten to hold on to something much more closer to normalcy than you guys have over there. And so there's like, I feel like weirdly guilty about it, being like far away, not like in the thick of it with everybody, but trying to make the most of it. Obviously, like every musician on the planet, all gigs have been canceled, and kind of in Switzerland, some have been rebooked again and then canceled again. So it's been a big up and down. So like a financial hit, as it's been for everybody, you know. But I also think as like a introverted Pisces, I live like a semi-hermit life anyways, and in my head. So I think I'm coping okay. I'm coping okay.
That's what it is, Annie. It's well, and listen, and I thank you because we're both water signs. I'm a Scorpio, you're a Pisces. I think that's why I love you so much. And listen, I just want to like this moment is so monumental to me. You have no idea, because I had, you know, like you and like everybody, it's been a real bitch of a year. We've had no direction from our head of state in this country. I'm not even going to name names. There's been no support, like even just to try to call unemployment here, and my unemployment got cancelled. There's been no support for musicians. There's been no support for people in the performing arts whatsoever, from a lot of directions. And I don't want to talk about all the negative stuff about it, but the year was coming to an end. I know I hit you up about this project just a few weeks ago, and I was going through an existential crisis where I was like, I've done nothing creative this year that I'm, not that I didn't get to do any work that I was proud of. I didn't really have anything to show for it. I worked on some really cool projects of other people. I learned a lot even the time you and I were working together in New York. I learned a lot about how I like to be treated. I learned a lot about the artist's way and the creative person's, where these gentle, as you said, you're a Pisces and you're a bit of a hermit, and where the creative people are gentle people. I've learned a lot about how I like to be treated. I've learned a lot about how I don't like to be treated. I've learned a lot about how I like to be respected, and I learned a lot about people that I respect. And like Annie, you're the first person I'm having a conversation with about a song we did on this album, and it's the first time I've produced an album or an EP with people that I really, really love. And I wanted to just, before we continue the conversation, I just want to say thank you, because I always looked at you in awe on stage. And what was so incredible about your energy is that you always made me feel so welcome. And when I would get the luxury to sing with you on stage, you were like, your eyes would be this big. It's like, you can do this, you got this, you can hit that note. And I just want to say, I learned a lot from you about performers who make other people feel worthy to be there, and who make other people feel $1 million to be in their presence. And just to be talking to you makes me feel like $1 million. So thank you for that.
That is so nice to hear you say that. It's funny, my experience at Sleep No More, you know, I'd fronted bands, I'd been on tour, I'd done studio work, but it was really my first time in the theater world at all. So I was in awe of everybody else working there. I was like, oh my God, they messed up. They let me in this place. What were they thinking? These are all professionals. And like, I had like the singing part down, but yeah, you made me feel incredibly welcome. And I think, you know, if you build this foundation of like trust and respect and really value what another person can bring to the table, what you can learn from that other person, it'll like really blossom into a dope work environment. And I think we did that. I had fun with you every night.
Oh my God, you know? So did I. Yeah. And I thank you. And like, I miss a lot of things. This pandemic has really taught me all the things I miss. And I've spent a lot of time being a hermit. I was telling someone the other day, I have like a 6-foot palm tree in my bedroom that's right by the door that I have to kind of squeeze past in my birthday suit when I get out of the shower. And sometimes it's the only contact I have with another living thing, because I have a wonderful roommate and he has a wonderful partner, and you know, I get to spend some quality time around them, but it's like, it's been a very isolating time. So I've had a lot of time to really think about what my path forward is in this world. I turn 50 next year. There's a lot of experience, as you know, like I think musicians, dancers, writers, artists, painters, we all get, we're the last people taken care of during something like a pandemic. I think it's hard to always nurture people correctly. And I just realized I've learned a lot about how I don't want my path forward to be. I don't want to feel taken advantage of. I don't want to feel disrespected. I don't want to feel that I'm not getting my fair share of whatever the pie may be, the Annie pie, you know, like whatever it may be. But so my point is what was really important to me when I was doing this, I wanted to start with people. I wanted to make this EP about bringing a lot of love and joy and the spirit of the holidays to this EP. And so I specifically I wanted to ask you, Annie, because you have that joy, you have that spirit, you always made me feel 100% welcome. It's just a joy to hear you sing. It's an experience to perform with you. And I can't even remember, like, did I suggest Let It Snow or did you suggest Let It Snow? I don't even remember now.
I think you suggested it, maybe. Yeah, I think you suggested it. But,
okay. Well, this is my thing, because I just like with this, the little producer in me that's coming out. And again, I'm trying to give everyone like their 3 to 5 minutes of magic. And I just like just hearing Annie, just to sing Let It Snow with Annie would be incredible. You came back to me with all those tracks, with all your amazing harmonies, with that beautiful riff at the end, and all your little, like we had a lot of stuff that we left in there, and I tried to banter off you, and we kept pulling things out. And the one thing I think I mentioned, we accidentally took out I love the way we tickle those keys, Toro, but we can put that back in later. And I might even put up a little soundbite.
Lola Baxter, that was very Sleep No More of me. Like, ooh, you know?
Ooh, so totally. And it's just a joy, Annie. Like I just had such a really great experience. And yeah, how did you feel about it? Have you done a lot of remote recording in the past? Or just...
No, you reached out to me right after I bought my fancy pants microphone, so it was perfect timing because I wanted to try it out anyways. No, I've done a lot of like maybe scratch vocals on a demo here or there, so when I go to record it, we kind of have a sketch that we're working off of. But this was a first for me, and it was really fun. I was worried, I was like, is this gonna be enough? I was like in my living room and recording it, but it worked out well. And the harmonies, I couldn't not. It was like begging for like a little mini Andrew Sisters moment, so I went for it.
Absolutely. No, and even like, I think it was that weird thing, because I think for people who are watching, they might wonder how this all came together. So I guess I'll say, you know, I guess in this case, I suggested that song. I could hear you singing it. You could sing the phone book, or you could sing anything. It would sound amazing. But I think with that song, like I sent you a really rough sketch demo of me trying to sing in my...
No, this was hilarious. At one point, it didn't even sound bad. At one point, you're like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm just so hungover. I was like, eh.
Yeah, that's how I dealt with it. I found a really nice $6.99 sake at the liquor store near me. So I've been living off sake, like the glamorous life. But even in that, because there was that big finish, I'm like, should we? And you're like, yeah, let's do the big finish. Let's do the big ending.
You gave me two options, and I was like, it's Christmas season. You got to like lean in all the way, you know?
Totally.
Yeah, we went there.
We went there. And the thing is as well, like, again, you know, going back to like I'm really excited about what we did, Annie, because I think when people hear this track, like I just grin from ear to ear. Your spirit, your voice is just magic. It really just... You know, and it's even to me, it reminded me of, I smile when I listen to this song because it reminds me of being in your presence. I'll never forget that time I bumped into you on the subway when we first met, when my mum was in town. Remember that?
Yeah. Oh, yes.
And, you know, my mum's an angel too. So angels attract angels. And I don't know, everything about your energy is just really, really magical. And it was just really great to have that magic moment. And, you know, hopefully we get to perform again in person at some point.
I would love it. You know, you talked a lot about knowing how you want to be treated in this industry, and you have always been so kind, so generous with your time. You have supported all of my like own personal endeavors and projects, and that is a rarity, and it's a rarity in this industry. And I appreciate you so much, and I was so happy to do this. It was really fun. Maybe,
Thank you.
Who knows, Christmas 2021, we can like all have a big Christmas bash or something. This would be
I would love that. And so, and I would love that. And so, Annie, I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. We're not done yet, because I want to know. So tell me, what are you working on now musically? Have you felt motivated to write or be creative in all of this?
Yeah, I've had like a bit of a personal.
Your house looks
journey.
amazing.
What? My house?
Yeah.
Thank you. This was like $4.99 off of Amazon. It's a very classy lifestyle. Rickety benches, Amazon cactuses, you know.
I love it. No, but so what have you been working on?
Yeah, so I really super long story condensed into a couple sentences.
You can do the long version.
Yeah, come on. I'm adopted, and as most adopted people had their worlds like shook a little bit when these DNA tests started coming out, you know, and you could like find people. So I did this, nothing happened. Like a year later, I got a message, ended up finding some of my birth family, which was like a huge thing for me. And it was some beauty came with that, some like re-trauma came with that. And I basically had this realization in a random session in Berlin, like I need to do a new project and it needs to be based off of this. And adoptees' voices have absolutely no platform. Like only in the last few years have we been contacting each other and kind of creating this community, which is really amazing. But I have a new project called I Used to Be Sam. It's like just in the very beginning stages, but we have an EP in the mix, and that was my birth name. And
so what was your birth name? Sam?
Yeah, and so Samantha. Sam, that's what I assume I would have gone by.
Hi, Samantha. Hi. It suits you too. Annie, Lola, Samantha, they all work.
Yeah, I'm good with it. And so I'm writing a whole EP based off of this and some of the trauma that goes in with adoption, some of the kind of questions, and also I kind of wrote myself my first love song to myself about kind of being gentle and like being a good friend to myself, which is a totally new concept to me. Also new concept to me is how do I want to be treated and who do I want to work with? You know, that's like been a huge theme for me, and an awakening, I will say. Yeah, that's what I'm working on. Stay tuned. It's on Instagram. Check it out. It's
Annie, that's amazing, because look, I want to say a couple of things on that. Look, first of all, one of my mottos for the new year, which has been for a while now, is run to happiness. The second one is be extraordinary, whatever extraordinary means. And it was really, thank you for sharing about, I know you mentioned to me before a long time ago, I think that you were adopted, but it's something we've never talked about. I just started watching a show last night, interestingly enough, that you may be interested, and I can't think of the name, but you should watch it. I think it's a reality show about a choir, about choosing like an incredible, huge 75-piece choir in the States. I think it's Pharrell's uncle is like the pastor at this church. And so all these singers come from around the country, and it's kind of like a little bit heartbreaking because it's still a competition. So they're picking out the altos and the tenors and everything, but they're like, oh, and this week a couple of you have to go. It's a little bit like that. But there's one girl, and she's really fascinating, and like she's basically she was adopted to a Native American tribe. She's like the whitest girl you've ever seen in your life. She was adopted to a Native American tribe. I wish I could remember her name right now, but you should watch this thing because it's really fascinating talking about her experience as an artist, because she's got this angelic, beautiful voice. She kind of lacks confidence, and she was kind of like, I never felt like I belonged anywhere, like I didn't really belong to this community. And I think you'd enjoy watching this show because it's about how much our personal journeys affect us as artists. And I can't wait to hear this EP that you're doing. I'm super psyched.
Thanks. When you remember the name, send it to me. I will absolutely watch it.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. And look, I'm so emotional about this, and I'm glad we're having this conversation, because it's like, if there's one thing I think a lot of people haven't learned lessons from the pandemic, like like the lesson, like, why are we here? Why do you sing? Why do you want to sing? Why do you want to share what we have with the world? And again, and I can't share what I have unless the person that I'm in the room with makes me feel comfortable, that the person that I'm singing with makes me feel equally respected, or that I'm worthy to be singing with them. And that goes for everyone in the room. So I want to get back to the culture behind the way it's working on these songs is like we're breaking everything 3 ways. So if it's you, me, and Toru singing on a track, the money goes 3 ways to make sure everybody is respected equally in all of that. And I just have worked in a lot of things in the past where I never got paid. I wish I was paying you up front, but as soon as everyone starts buying our beautiful little slice of joy.
I would have done this with no possible payment in the future. This was not about that for me, but I really appreciate it.
No, and me too, Annie. That was my whole thing. I just want to feel like it's that weird thing as artists trying to run our business side of ourselves, and to like I've spent a lot of time in the last 10 years begging for money from people and trying to justify $10, $20, $50, you know, and I don't think people that work on Wall Street or in law firms are having to do that. And yet the experience people have when they listen to you sing is an existential cluster of starlight. You know what I mean? So what price do you put on that? You can't put a price on that.
Yeah. Thank you.
Totally. Look, I'm not going to keep you. I will just say, I mean, I could talk to you about, oh, by the way, Lizzie sends all her love, Elizabeth Romansky.
Oh my God. When it's safe to do it, kiss her big and wet on the mouth for me. Okay?
Well, I will, but I don't get to, because I'm out here in California. You're both mums now. How's being a mum going for you?
I lucked out. I mean, I would like to say like I'm an incredible mom, but you know, I'm sure that's part of it. But it's like a chill house. But I lucked out. I have the most like chill, kind, empathetic, like creative little kid in the world. It's dope.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. And so your EP that you're doing, what is there like a timeline yet, or you're not putting a timeline on it? You're just letting it
there's a
marinate?
Okay, so right now we're still like wrapping up the songs. We just had strings done in Barcelona and they sound so beautiful and I can't wait. Yes. So I would say there's going to be, we were going to do a live video shoot on the 4th, but and so now more February sometime, we're going to hopefully film that if like restrictions are lifted and stuff.
I'll keep my fingers.
And then I would say like in the next 6 months or so is when we'll first start hearing all the things.
That's huge. And so if for people are watching, they can follow you. I mean, we can tag you here on the Instagram. And is there anywhere else you'd like people to look out for you, Annie? Where we find Annie Goodchild?
Yeah, Annie Goodchild on Instagram, and for my new project, it's just I used to be Sam, just one word. I used to be Sam. Mm-hmm. I'm so excited for you on all platforms, so check it out. Yeah, I'm super excited for you, Annie. Like, and again, thank you. I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. You don't know how exciting it was, and then, like, I want this to be like a learning experience for anyone who works as an artist. Like, when I started to do this, I was the brokest I've ever been, right? I still am. I've got credit card debt up to my eyeballs. I had no money. My unemployment had been cut off. I was like, well, what can I do? I can sing some songs with some people I really, really love. And we've all been kind of given the short end of the stick, as everyone on the planet has during this pandemic. And I just want people to realize that as much as it's not the same experience as being up on stage with you with some of the most incredible musicians in New York, as we got to do night after night, it was really magical. Like, I was just grinning from ear to ear when I was recording my stuff with you. And so it's just a good lesson to people that you're all the way in Switzerland, I'm all the way in LA, Tori was in New York. It's not the ideal way to work as a musician, but musicians work like that all the time from all around the world. Absolutely. We made it work. We totally made it work, you know? I think the creative community has left me in awe in general by their creativity, what they're able to do and accomplish during this time. And as you said, you brought this to me a few weeks ago, and within a few weeks, like you're releasing a little album now. You know, that's crazy. So good for you. Thank you for bringing it up and being the engine and making it all happen. Yeah, I was really happy to be a part of it.
Thank you, darling. And the only thing I want to say, like, again, like respecting the artist's journey, I feel like I really rushed it out. I listened to all 7 tracks and I'm like, oh, like there's a few little tweaks that I would have made here and there. Like I didn't mean to drop your little shout out to Toro. That kills me. But at the end of the day, it's so raw. It's so heartfelt. It's so beautiful. I'm like this the whole time listening to it. And yeah, I just want to say thank you so much. And hopefully it's just the beginning of many, many records and EPs that we're doing. And I think I'm really wonderful to that you got to discover I Used to Be Samantha. I think it's incredible.
Thank you.
Cool. Well, thank you, Annie. I won't keep you. And what's the time of this? Like 9:30 something-ish?
It's 9:30 in the morning. I have a whole day ahead of me and I'm wearing a red lip, so I better leave my house.
You look gorgeous.
Thank you.
And please thank your family for letting us have stealing you away for half an hour.
I will. Give my kisses to all other album folks. I can't wait to hear everything else, by the way.
Oh yeah, it comes. And I'm sorry, I wanted to kind of have that surprise element. I mean, you've heard your track, obviously, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes.
Are you happy with it?
Yeah. Well, I'm a bit of a perfectionist, so do I think I could have done more? Yep. But I'm really happy if you're happy. Yes. I think it's really cute. And about it not being about having little things, I think those imperfections make it even more human and give even more of a feeling like you're in an audience and you're seeing musicians interact with each other. You know, there's like this element of kind of improv and yeah, I don't know. I think it's really human and really sweet and perfect for right now in the world.
Totally. And I wish I'd left more of those little things on there. But honestly, and it's like, I just, this brings me so much joy. You as a human being bring me so much joy. And thank you from the bottom of my heart. Like I said, it's not even about money at the end of the day. It's about, like I said, I wanted it to, like, sometimes the songs came to me first and then the people came to me and I was like, I very much gravitated. I know tons and tons of lovely, lovely people who are wonderful friends. They're wonderful musicians. They're wonderful singers. But there was something about, as you said, like you were new to the world of going from like rock bands into like something theatrical. I was new to getting up on a stage and singing with a quartet. And I guess that there was that beautiful, much like this little EP where everyone's just getting thrown into the mix, into uncharted territory. And I just want to say, never lose that magic spirit you have of making people feel welcome and loved and worthy and just filled with joy to be performing with. Because it's just, and I think people will hear it in this song. So anyway, enough.
Thank you. I'm working on taking compliments. This has been a lot. Thank you so much.
I love you, Annie. And listen, I wish you nothing but the most wonderful, beautiful, happiest holidays. I hope Santa Claus roasts your chestnuts to perfection.
Oh, he better. He better.
And I'm super excited for what 2021 has for you. And I can't wait to hear your upcoming EP. I'm super psyched.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me on here and on the album. And let me know when the next one's happening.
Absolutely. I love you.
I love you. Bye, Hans.
Bye, darling.